IBL seeks to motivate students by drawing on their natural curiosity and love of learning through exploring instead of merely observing and listening. Inquiry is constructivist at its core, championing the notion that knowledge is actively constructed by the students as an empowered agent of his or her learning. So what can teachers do? 1. Create a culture of inquiry. Teachers need to see themselves as more than knowledge givers, but also see themselves as co-inquirers, facilitators, and coaches in their students' learning process. They need to create learning experiences that are safe, engaging, and develop independent thinking. Similarly, students need to see themselves no longer as passive recipients of knowledge. Instead, they are knowledge builders who are critical and reflective thinkers, able to explore different information, analyze and evaluate them to make informed decisions. Regardless of the type of inquiry, teachers need to ensure that in IBL, learning is question-driven. There is a double movement of reflection. And what does this mean? It means that our experiences lead to the formulation of a hypothesis, which is then tested and modified after considering new experiences and evidence. And 3, there is a reliance on evidence and knowledge construction by the students. These elements would be useful in helping teachers to assess whether the lesson has been conducted in an inquiry style as opposed to other activity-based lessons. Related to this is the need to also create a positive classroom culture. For example, both teachers and students are clear about expectations and routines so as to ensure a conducive environment for IBL to take place. 2. Ensure that IBL is student-centered. Teachers need to be cognizant that IBL is not always teacher-directed, and student agency needs to be honored. This is because IBL positions students as active learners, and learning takes place through discovery, experimentation, questioning, doing, and applying. Often, students' prior knowledge and understanding are the basis on which to build new knowledge and understanding. Although student-centered, students need guidance when working with inquiry activities. As teachers, we need to ensure all students receive direction in the activity as well have plenty of opportunities for practice and feedback. As such, teachers need to decide and apply appropriate instructional strategies, including question strategies and technologies where appropriate, and facilitation skills to scaffold student thinking. 3. Make IBL authentic, that is, connect the classroom to the real world. Teachers, through IBL, need to enable students to appreciate the relevance of what they are learning, hence, the experience must be authentic. Students need to be given the opportunity to engage in projects and activities that require them to not only employ subject knowledge, but also disciplinary practices to solve real-world problems, gain a deeper understanding of an issue, or explore an idea. Of IBL in history, it is important to ask the following question: how is inquiry as a pedagogy connected to history and history teaching? The Greek word for history, historia, translates into inquiry. History, as a discipline, is a deliberate and thoughtful attempt to reconstruct and explain events in the past. To be of any worth, they must be rooted in genuine evidence, and normally that means that they are drawn from several different sources of information. This process that historians undertake is mirrored in the historical inquiry process. The use of inquiry in the history classroom therefore allows students to reflect on historical questions and issues, investigate the past, and make reasoned, historical interpretations. Historical inquiry, which reflects the process of doing history, entails 4 phases: sparking curiosity, gathering evidence, exercising reasoning, and reflective thinking. Through these phases, students are guided through a process to construct, interpret, and evaluate knowledge from different perspectives. Students will also monitor, assess, and improve their own learning. Since students are introduced to the discipline of history for the first time at lower secondary, it is important to focus on their learning needs when designing learning experiences. Students should be gradually inducted into the process of historical inquiry with close guidance and scaffoldings from teachers. 3 levels of inquiry could be carried out at the lower secondary level. They are confirmation inquiry, where the focus is on introducing and familiarizing students to inquiry, learning requisite skills like analyzing sources to arrive at a pre-established conclusion. Structured inquiry, where the focus is on reinforcing the experience of inquiry to students, practicing specific skills, analyzing sources to arrive at their own conclusion. In such an inquiry, students can choose from a list of possible inquiry questions. Guided inquiry, where the focus is on helping students to formulate their own questions, plan and carry out their inquiry to arrive at their own conclusion. Through this approach, students will have an opportunity to better understand history both as a body of knowledge and as a form of knowledge. When done well, students will gain a better understanding of why things happened in the past, how past events shape the present, and thus be better able to anticipate what might take place in the future.